What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome back to another episode here on the KrustyKraft server. Today is episode 40. Yes, it is. We're all the way up to episode 40, can you believe it? And we're standing right in front of our new orc base. These things look absolutely awesome. And in today's episode, we're going to be building some crazy staircases and some crazy bridges that'll be interconnecting all of these builds. So let's get started by gathering all the materials. Allium to look. Oh boy, there's a creeper in my base. Don't blow up. Good. Well, that was a close call. Luckily, that creeper didn't blow up, but despite that, we were able to gather all the materials that we're going to need for today's project. We didn't even have to go shopping. And now I've got my little workstation area. This is where all my materials are, and I've got them all laid out and organized the way I want them, and we're going to get started right over here. This build here is the bottom build. There's 3 more up there, and so we're going to be building a staircase going in it right here into my area right here, and we need to go ahead and make it loop up kind of like a winding staircase all the way inside there. And this is how big we're going to make it. So as I'm getting started here, I'm using a bunch of slabs, and I feel like it needs to kind of go in this way a little bit too. Things are moving along quite nicely. I like the bend that we have going on here. So now I've got this staircase kind of winding all the way up through here, and now we're going to exit my mountain right here, and I'm not really sure how this is going to look. I'm kind of winging it as I go. Now that we're coming out to this point and we're building orc builds, I thought it'd be rather appropriate to go ahead and put in some dragon bones coming out of the mountain, kind of supporting this walkway. And I think this is a good start. We have the bone coming right up here, and I think if we go just like this, it'll look just like the bone if we cover it in trap doors, and it'll make it look like it's tied to the pathway right here. And then if we throw a slab on top of it, it'll look like the bone continues out right there. That looks pretty good, I think. That is kind of looking like a dragon bone. I don't necessarily like this bit right here. I might get rid of those 2 blocks, but the rest of it is looking pretty good. There we go. That's looking better. And now that we've got this wrapping around all the way to here, I think we should have another dragon bone coming out to support the walkway. I went for the 2 wide approach, but as I'm looking at it, I don't like it. I want the 1 wide approach. I think that's going to look a lot better. And then I'm going to go ahead and put ourselves in a sea lantern right here. This is going to go ahead and get covered up with the walkway here. And then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves some more trap doors and go ahead and cover this and make it look like it's tied to the walkway. There we go. That's the look I'm looking for. Now we've made our way around here just a little bit further, and right here I think another bone would be just fitting, and I thought it might be easier to use some scaffolding to go ahead and build this one. So I think this might be a little bit easier if we go just like that and get started. And then of course out here on the outer edge, we're going to get another sea lantern with the trap door so it looks like it ties to it, and then there's the top of the bone right there. That looks good. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Now we're beginning to approach the top. Our walkway is all the way up here. Our last bone is right there, and I'm thinking it'd be a good idea to put one right here to kind of support the bending structure. This one, for some reason though, I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder to get it on this diagonal shape here and making it look good is going to be rather kind of difficult because we kind of need to go out in this direction, but we don't want to make the bone look too big. Ooh, I think I found something that works for me. If I go like this, we can go like that, and then we can also take another block like this, and that kind of makes this look like a little bit more of a bone, not so thick and a little bit more streamlined. And now that I'm up to this point, I'm beginning to think that I built my bone a little too low, and looking over there, I'm at the same height, but my bridge is a little bit higher. I haven't had to do this yet, but you know what? I think it's time to go ahead and just remove this and redo it. And yes, after redoing this, I think this is going to work out quite nicely. But I think this little bit of quartz needs to go. Now that we've got this part of the bone in, I want to start transitioning this from walking around the mountain to kind of just going up in this direction. I accidentally broke that block up there and I fell all the way down. And when I'm down here, I notice that the bottom of that sea lantern is uncovered. There we go. Let's take a walk all the way up our staircase now. This is looking pretty cool. I really like the way this is turning out. And as you can see here, I really like the whole natural sense of this. This is just kind of like an inclining area. And we need to figure out a way to connect it to our whole ledge right here and make it look normal and kind of natural. And you know what I'm beginning to see now is that I need to go ahead and push this out a little bit more and not have an incline so fast, so it kind of wraps around here and inclines in this direction. Yes, I'm beginning to think that this is looking a lot better. Let's have another run up this. If we come all the way up here, this has kind of got a nice winding area that comes naturally right up to the top of the hill right here. And I'm not sure, did I mention that I was a 3rd person filming this? This is going to be a time lapse too. I've got my second account right here filming me while we've been building this. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with what we've got. I've done my best to really try to make this look as natural and kind of ominous as possible, wrapping it all the way around the mountain, coming all the way back up top, and I'm wondering if this is good enough, and I'm also wondering if we should put another dragon bone under here, kind of supporting to right here, right in this corner. I think that might be fitting. I think this somewhat works, and if we go ahead and come all the way up here, we can continue on with our sea lantern, making it look like it's tied to this. We need to go ahead and get our trap doors out here. And there we go. If we go just like that, and we put ourselves one on top like that, it looks like a bone being tied to the place right here. Now, that kind of throws this off just a little bit. And I think that right there does it. This is looking a lot better winding all the way up around. And as I'm looking at it from this direction, I'm wanting one more little bony cap right here, and I'm thinking we should just literally just throw in just a bottom piece right here. We'll go ahead and throw ourselves in a sea lantern and then a top piece on top of it after we do our trapdoors. And there we go. If we go like that and like that, that kind of brings the whole staircase into this area. And then if we take ourselves a trapdoor just like this, that makes it look like it's tied on there with some rope. Then we can go ahead and go just like that, and that kind of completes that whole bone. It's not a whole lot, but it does a lot. I like the way this makes this feel. When you come all the way up here, it feels like it's still tied on right there. And I'm liking the way this looks from down here. So let's go through and do a final walkthrough right here. This is what our staircase is looking like at this moment. And it's winding all the way around up here. I like the way this is. Oh, that's so natural. I like the way that feels running up that. And as excited as I am about this whole staircase, this one took me a very long time to do, and I wanted to do that all the way around, all the way winding around all of these mountains. I don't know how many of these we're going to get done in today's episode. And don't think that we're done down in here either. This is not even near finished. We still need to decorate the entryways and the interior. But all the materials that I prepared for today's episode is everything that you've been seeing me use for the walkways. So I guess we better stick to the original plan. And now that we have the first one done, I have a couple ideas for the second two. I'm thinking it would be very cool to go ahead and hook up another staircase right around here on this part of the mountain to connect up to that part of the mountain. We could go all the way up here on the outside of this pillar right here, kind of enter in through this area where it's dark, and then we'd go ahead and continue running around inside and come back out around here and have it connect up to this area up here. Then that would leave this area open right here, so we could go back into this mountain and get ourselves up to the top up here. So I've gotten started on the first bit of this staircase, and we need to go ahead and start transitioning it to connect to this part of the mountain right there. And we're going to need some supporting dragon bones coming out of the mountain right here, and I'm thinking they should come straight up and support it right around this area. And yes, this is looking quite good. I think if we go ahead and throw our sea lantern on right there, that'll connect up to our walkway, and again we'll use these trap doors right here to make it look like it's tied to the walkway. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Now we need to do the other side. So now the other side is going in, and this is looking all done and dusted. So if we go just like this, close all those down, that bone is now looking pretty good on the side. Yes, I'm liking the way this looks. However, I think this part right here needs another slab. That's looking a little bit thin. And I think we should be able to get that right there. There, that really made a big difference. And now that we're up to this point, we really need to start working our way over to the left, because as you can see, we've got about 3 or 4 blocks of gap right here that we need to fill in and eventually get our staircase supported by this mountain. And we're going in a straight line right here so far, so we kind of need to gradually get ourselves over to the mountain. So I've stepped my staircase to the left by 1 block, so now when you come up here, it's gone to the left, and same thing over here. We've continued up just like this, and actually we haven't gone to the left at all. It looks like I need to actually do that on this side. And now that we're up to this point, I'm thinking it'd be a good idea to go ahead and have another supporting bone coming out of the mountain right about here, coming all the way up to this area and supporting it right here. So now I've built another dragon bone out here just like this, and I think that'll work really well. I think right here we'll go ahead and put a stair to go ahead and cover up the front side of that, and then we'll continue around here with our slabs, bringing this around here like so, and then we'll get our trap doors out here on the side and make it look like this is tied to the actual staircase right here. Now let's go ahead and see how this is going to look. Let's break that slab and put ourselves in a stair right there. That'll go ahead and close that all in. That doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty good. If we take a look out from here, this is looking pretty good. And now I've built up to this area, and I want to start winding this around to where we can enter inside of our mountain here. And I'm also thinking that that's our last dragon bone right there, and we should probably have one protruding out the mountain to kind of support this area right here. And now we've got that dragon bone done, and that's looking pretty good. Now comes the part where we're going to actually enter inside of the mountain. And there goes in the last block to the outside of the mountain right here. Now we need to actually grab our pick and we're going to break into the inside and continue on in here. Now I've got my buddy Rouge working with me. He decided to come over and lend me a hand. We're building the staircase and now we've come up to the other side right here. We need to actually punch a hole in the wall right here. And we're going to start to exit right here and continue the staircase on up and around. So now I've got some blocks coming out the edge of the mountain right here. Rouge is kind of making this look a little bit better, kind of curving it around. We're going to be putting in another dragon bone down here. We need to actually grab, where's our bone blocks? We need to grab our bone blocks. We're going to go ahead and start putting in a dragon block, or a dragon bone coming in right here to support our stairway. All right, so our walkway is now supported by that dragon bone that's coming out of the mountain there. We need to do another one out here because the staircase is going to be coming up to this portion of the mountain right where this marker is. And so we need to kind of curve that along here and put another support right in here. So now our walkway is complete. This is coming all the way up to the top up here. Our dragon bone is now in. This is how we've got it in here looking. And from down below, it looks pretty good. It looks like a supporting structure, a bone coming out of the mountain like that. However, this part of the staircase is looking kind of unsupported. I feel like we need another one over here. Alrighty, and there is the bone all done and dusted. We need to put a cap on top of it, just like so. And that should look good. Rouge is putting a stair block on the side of it so it doesn't show. Oh yeah, that looks way better. This bone over here though, I'm thinking maybe we should extend it out a little bit. Rouge thinks that too. And there we go, that's looking better. And now that this staircase is complete, the last one is over here, and I've got to figure out what we're gonna do here. I'm not sure because I'm kind of winging it, you know, kind of playing it as we go. And for winging it, I have to say this is turning out great. Look at these staircases. These are looking cool with the dragon bones coming out of the mountain. Look at that. That is so sick. That's so awesome. So nonetheless, we are going to finish off the last one up here. I've got my second account out. He's been time-lapsing me the whole time filming. And so we're going to go ahead and finish this guy in the time-lapse. Oh my goodness, just take a look at how good all that looks. And now all of our builds are connected with this winding staircase going all the way up the mountain. It's looking ominous and dangerous, and I really like the way that these are turning out, and it looks really good as the sun's setting right behind us. These things are looking awesome. I like the way this is turning out, and I like the way that everything is coming together. So if you liked it too, then be sure to smack that like button for me, and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody.